grim tapestry of World War II, the Japanese occupation of East Asia stands as a dark and harrowing chapter. From the treacherous invasion of Manchuria in 1931 to the brutal surrender in 1945, this era of Japanese imperialism left an indelible mark on the region. The seeds of aggression. Newsreel footage of Japanese troops marching in formation. The seeds of Japanese aggression were sown in the early 20th century, fueled by a potent mix of militarism, nationalism, and economic desperation. The country's rapid industrialization had created a demand for raw materials and markets, leading to an expansionist foreign policy. The invasion of Manchuria. Newsreel footage of Japanese troops clashing with Chinese forces. Narrator, in 1931, Japan launched a surprise attack on Manchuria, a region of China rich in natural resources. Using the pretext of a staged railway incident, Japanese forces quickly overwhelmed the Chinese defenders. This audacious move marked the beginning of Japan's full-scale invasion of China, the Marco Polo Bridge incident. Newsreel footage of Japanese and Chinese soldiers engaged in battle. The conflict escalated in 1937 with the Marco Polo Bridge incident. A clash between Japanese and Chinese troops near Beijing ignited a widespread war that would last for 8 years. The Japanese army, equipped with modern weaponry and trained in brutal tactics, inflicted heavy casualties on the Chinese forces. The rape of Nanking. Newsreel footage of Japanese soldiers committing atrocities. One of the most horrific events of the war was the rape of Nanking in 1937. Japanese troops, driven by a frenzy of violence and hatred, committed unspeakable atrocities against the civilian population of the Chinese capital. The massacre left an enduring legacy of trauma and suffering. The war in Southeast Asia. Newsreel footage of Japanese troops invading Southeast Asian countries. Narrator, Japan's ambitions extended beyond China. In 1941, the Japanese military launched a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, drawing the United States into the war. Following this, Japan swiftly conquered much of Southeast Asia, including Malaya, Singapore, the Philippines, and Burma. The Pacific War. Newsreel footage of naval battles and air raids. The war in the Pacific was marked by fierce battles between Japanese and Allied forces. The Battle of Midway in 1942 was a turning point, as the United States inflicted a devastating defeat on the Japanese Navy. However, the war continued with brutal intensity, characterized by island-hopping campaigns and kamikaze attacks. The atomic bombs. Newsreel footage of the atomic bomb explosions in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The end of the war came in August 1945, with the dropping of atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The immense destruction and loss of life caused by these weapons forced Japan to surrender unconditionally. Legacy. Newsreel footage of Japanese soldiers surrendering. The Japanese occupation of East Asia had a profound and lasting impact on the region. Millions of people lost their lives, and countless others were left scarred by the physical and psychological trauma of war. The occupation also fueled nationalist movements and anti-colonial struggles throughout Asia. Conclusion. Sound of a ticking clock fading out. The Japanese occupation of East Asia remains a dark chapter in the history of the 20th century. It serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked aggression and the importance of upholding human rights and international law.